On September 5th, Gnews published Mr. Hao's picture that stated, "Can the CCP represent 1.4 billion Chinese?" Hao Haidong is the first to disagree. Famous Chinese soccer player Hao Haidong issued a proposal to decline representation, putting forward 5 reasons in response to Xi Jinping's, quote, 1.4 billion Chinese people will never agree. 1. The CCP seized power through violence and deception. It didn't resist the Japanese invasion, but instead launched a civil war to seize power. 2. The CCP's so-called socialism stole Chinese citizens' private properties. The various class struggles that the CCP orchestrated plunged the Chinese people into unprecedented misery. 3. The CCP does not equal China. The CCP government does not come about from elections, hence it is illicit. 4. The CCP disregards international law, thereby making it an enemy of the world. By simply being responsible for one of the most devastating pandemics, the CCP has become the world's largest terrorist organization. 5. The CCP manipulates currency and drags the world economy into a swamp. The quote, proposal to decline representation resonated with many Chinese netizens, including those who circumvented the firewall from mainland China. Quote, I refuse to be represented by Xi Jinping, and I refuse to be represented by the CCP. The CCP is not China. The CCP cannot represent the Chinese people. I refuse to be represented by the CCP. Mainlanders should all stand up and refuse to be represented by the Chinese Communist Party leader Xi. Chinese people with brains should strongly resist the CCP deceiving others by using us. The CCP tore up international agreements, brutally suppressed Hong Kongers, and severely oppressed the compatriots of ethnic minorities in Tibet, Xinjiang, and Inner Mongolia, causing countless public grievances. I refuse to be represented by you. The netizen Sirloin also responded by mimicking the tone of the CCP's foreign affairs spokesperson, quote, the Chinese people will never agree to the heinous manipulation and slave-like treatment from any autocratic government attempts to claim representation of all Chinese people, especially through the use of propaganda. The last thing the people need is a government without a single elected official. Netizen Angel also told Xi Jinping, quote, I refuse to be represented by you 10,000 more times if needed, because your regime is not chosen by us through voting, because your regime is a tyranny against humanity. Dr. Han Lianchao, a visiting researcher at the Hudson Institute in the United States, described Xi's, quote, 5 never agrees as the, quote, 5 no's of insecurity, which exactly shows that he is afraid of the truth in these 5 aspects. Chen Weijian, a Chinese sculptor living in the United States, said that among Xi's 5, quote, never agrees, the most important one is not agreeing to separate the CCP from the Chinese people. Quote, the lives of CCP senior leaders and their families are kept in secret. The common people can't see them other than on TV and newspapers. Their address and family properties are also kept secret. And trying to find out where their properties are may constitute a crime of subverting the country. The CCP is a privileged class completely out of touch with the Chinese people. Current affairs commentator Yuan Bin pointed out that Xi's never agrees fully express that the CCP would never reconcile itself to retreat from the stage of history, would never abandon evil and do good, and would always spread rumors to confuse the public, deceive the Chinese people, and oppose democratic values. It's not a surprise at all. This is determined by the evil nature of the CCP.